back with the best killer in competitive DBD, with the funniest killer in comp DBD, with the most beautiful killer in comp DBD, with the most interesting killer in comp DBD, the most tactic-filled killer in comp DBD, the most exciting and amazing and stunning killer in comp DBD, the most thrilling and amazing killer of comp DBD, and we are back with the most challenging killer of comp DBD, together with the best killer of comp DBD, the one and only killer of comp DBD, and certainly the legend of all killers in comp DBD. That was my intro, and now there's Nico.
Yeah, it's mommy, like my friend Zeke calls him, or calls her. We have the Plague coming in here, and we are, of course, loaded into Suffocation Pit once again. The 3-gen map, and the beautiful map for Plague, specifically because of Corrupt Intervention, making it super easy to figure out where people are actually going to start their generators in terms of what generators you have been spitting onto. So already Olix being on a gen, meanwhile Levillier, Sponge, and Hyzoox have not been touching one at all thus far. And this is always the case. Are you just all going to try to get onto generators, get everyone injured as fast as possible, give Thana value instantly, or are you going to try to make one person the target to be chased in the beginning and then everyone else just trying to stealth around? But it looks like it's going to be the case of the latter, actually. So just one person on gen, kicking this one, applying Eruption to it, and everyone running into Corrupt Land right now. No one getting on gens as it stands right now, Dire, and a very slow and methodical start here for both sides.
And this is what we love about the Plague, this little bit of testing the grounds. Is the Plague more playing for the information tool of the power and then guarding the gen serve? Is she more aggressive? We even have some Plagues. Zaka used to play a lot like this in 2022 and 2023, picking up the power instantly and doing something crazy with that from the get-go. And Everyday Pizza seems to kind of find a mix here. Information first, vomiting on all the generators to make sure that there's a little bit of a penalty on the survivor side, but then afterwards very strictly going for one survivor, which is surprising a little bit, because usually when a Plague decides to focus on one survivor, we see at least one chase perk coming out, especially on the Suffocation Pit. That can be a Brutal Strength, for example, or a Bamboozle, anything like that. But here, the Plague has decided that it's not necessary to go for an additional perk on the chase gameplay, yet we are hardcorely committing to one survivor here. And if this survivor is chaining the resources together and is doing a good job in this first chase, then this could actually be very punishing. But luckily, Olix is not going to stay alive longer here, so it's still a good chase for the Plague. Maybe a little bit too long and too extending, but definitely nothing that can break your entire game plan.
Definitely not the case. What we did see, however, Levillier and Hyzoox getting onto generators, so they are now also sick, obviously, but no gens have popped as of just yet, and that definitely seems like a very slow start, Dire. We have one gen here about to pop. It is on a sprint burst user as well, so it's going to be very easy to get that and get the heck out of the way. One gen pops on the opposite side of the map, and we have Levillier trying to make a stand to try and get in and get the unhook. Again, super important against the Natophobia that you don't have everyone injured at the very least. 3 people is fine, you can deal with that kind of, but when the 4th one gets injured, that's where the real power comes in from Thana. So very smart that Sponge is keeping themselves clean, not intoxicated or plagued by anything at all. Another gen popping on the top side of the map, but it is this bottom side that we are looking out for more than anything. Can Oleg actually get unhooked though? I very much doubt it, Dire. We even get the power coming in, so we're just standing here waiting for the confirmation of the second stage coming in, and there it is as well. Now we can maybe look for someone, Dire.
Problems team a little bit now on the survivor side, because now the killer will be able to look for someone else, and we do have 2 injured survivors. At the same time, the Plague is holding quite some generators down here next to the hooked survivor, so it's definitely not looking too bad for the killer side, and the survivor side will need a little bit of a comeback play here. That can be a trade into 2 minutes of hanging time, and then making sure that Olix is going all the way top, hiding behind the main building, even potentially maybe even going for the full cleanse, making sure that he's no longer in danger. But Sponge has decided that he will be the survivor, moving in beautiful juicing here. That was beautiful that he has just done there. Olix, though, will be the tunnel survivor. I don't think that anyone disagrees with this strategic choice. If you can cut it down to 3 survivors standing, you will always pick that on the killer. But there's the 3rd generator. Penalty now for the killer coming out. The survivor team is trying to be efficient, but that was unfortunately not the longest run here.
Not the longest run indeed, and obviously super difficult to try to take a hit for your teammate as well against the Plague. Everyone injured, not really that valuable to just take her down if he's just going to keep trying to tunnel out that last survivor. And Olix is going to get sent to the afterlife, and we do have a 4th generator popping in the distance here in a second. And now we're trying desperately to get the last generator done, but is it in the 3-gen is the big question. We actually are on the other side of the map, and Hyzoox is going to be the person to get targeted here. Is gonna go down, doesn't make enough distance with the sprint burst, so now not sitting too bad. The question is, where is Levillier's generator? That is the biggest question we have right now. Is it actually on the top side of the map? It is on the top side of the map, so they somehow broke the 3-gen during that chase actually, which is huge, Dire, because that puts the Plague in such a difficult position now. Do you camp out this survivor, or do you try to make the run up to top side of that to try to stall them and get more hook stages? Because 6 stages Plague, that's not the best outcome, I feel like. But Sponge actually taking a chase here at Shaq with no pallet. Unfortunate stuff coming in. Does have bounce landing, can proc it right here. Is going to make a little bit of distance. Can we get a trade coming in? Probably not. Is Levillier on the way is the question now on the other side, because I feel like Sponge just has to die in a corner of the map here. He was indeed. He is going to make sure that Kate does not go second this time around. Nice zoning, breaking on the pallet. And do we make it back to Shaq? Can we make the window vault? I think it's a little bit too close. No Bloodlust coming in. Are we going to hit the hit here? We're not. Beautiful stuff here coming in from Sponge, making sure that they are not going to go down. Nice pathing. We do have a medium vault coming in this time around. One more vault and it should be blocked, and that should be the down coming in right here. Not much to do for Sponge. But we're gonna get the last gen popping as well, Dire. It might be a 2-man out.
Wow, a little bit unexpected, I'll say that. How they smashed through it with these little stages, because I felt like our killer really had a good setup there on the bottom side of the suffocation pit, where it was at least possible to get much more out of it. We remember the elimination was kind of successful. We did have the generator setup down there. We had a few injuries and stuff, so the fact that we are now only awarding 2 additional hook stages besides the elimination that we have awarded earlier onto Olix is a little bit surprising, but we still have an end game, and in the end game is a lot possible, especially when you are unaware where the killer is located. Kate jumping into the locker. That is going to waste a little bit of time on the killer side, but Everyday Pizza is going to happily take that. We'll go for the slug though, as you want to make sure that the survivors don't have a chance to hop on the other door there. And he does have the very luxury position that both exit gates are down here, so he might be able to cook something.
Definitely might be able to. Levillier now taking chase. Isn't injured just as of yet. Remember, no power right now, so we're just going to try to get the injury in. And can we get the M1? We can. Hyzoox, however, has been rezzed on the other side of the map, and Sponge and Hyzoox are now trying desperately to feel if they can get to a gate and maybe get it open. I don't think it has any red lights on. No, not as of yet. But Levillier actually gets picked up, so maybe we're actually just happy about this result. I'm not too sure, Dire. What do you think?
It's going to be tricky, that's for sure. A prediction is hard, and even my decision is going to be a little bit ambivalent here, because will we make it with this survivor too? No, we're not reaching this window. So I think your question caster cursed this, Nico. Any statements?
I'm sorry, but that's about it. Hyzoox is going to go to the afterlife with 2K coming in here in what I think was about 8 stages, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that. Obviously, you know, have the beautiful, beautiful spectator bug. Let's see here. 3, 3, and 2. That is 8. I was right. I'm so good. Thank you very much. 8 stages coming in here. 4K, however, 0 gens done, 2 outs. Not the worst. If you're the survivors, I feel like Sinister, Sinister's probably happy about that when you consider the tunnel out.
Absolutely. I think how they came back here in the mid game and getting so many stages out of the door is something that they can really took for themselves here and say, we have made a great comeback. We had a good coordination. We had a good plan in mind that we were able to enforce. So absolutely big props for this performance. They can be proud of that. Let's see if it's going to be a strong Archon in the upcoming trial. We are going to take a little bit of a break, ladies and gentlemen, and then we are going to catch you in just